Hey guys, welcome back. Drip and Farm for Pop. I'm your host, Drip Coach, and let's jump right into it. I'm sure you're all familiar with this chart, and this came up because of the recent AMA that Forex was talking about, basically the health and longevity of its protocols and how they've never been exploited. And that may be true from like an external standpoint of, say, like a rug or someone draining the contract maliciously from an external source, but we have definitely been exploited internally. And you guys know I have an entire playlist on the most notorious of them all, Ray from the Bartertown conglomerate. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because even with the new changes to the contract, there are still some possible attack vectors that have not been addressed. And before I tried to assume the best and say that Ray and Forex are not thick as thieves and that it was just Ray manipulating the system because none of the other OGs did, I still can't verify that. But the fact that Forex never addressed it or it never made it to his table is alarming at best. But I want to show you something in the new contract that still has this exploit or attack vector that malicious bad actors that are content creators like Ray could still utilize. Now, the incentive to do it is not there currently, but it's not to say that people wouldn't utilize this in that way. So I want to show it to you, and shouts out to Orbison, the dev that was originally reached out to Mystify, and they were going to build something, and now he's in the DeFi DAO and has been sharing some insights and stuff about the logic and going forward with other projects and whatnot. So shouts out to him for pointing this out, because this is beyond my Solidity math involvement, but code and logic involvement. But we'll take a look at this and then I'll break it down for you guys, because it's important to be able to see the context of where it actually comes from. So in here, he's showing one of the lines of code, and we'll go straight to that on the contract. But he says, so I just reviewed some of the new Faucet code and I see some potential issues with it. As you can see in the screenshot, the variable max payout cap is no longer in use. This value is 100K limit. So that was this line 122. This is the max cap. And then these two brackets or backslashes basically comment out something so that the contract doesn't read it. You can use it for like notes, things of that nature, or to remove lines of code you don't want the contract to read. I'm sorry, not the contract, but the code to read. And that way you still have notes and stuff in your code. I did this in HTML and whatnot. You can put notes in there so that you remember what you were coding to begin with, or somebody else as well. The referrals haven't been changed, so we'll pay roughly 10% on new deposits on the upline. So remember, BREAP is still available. It still has a function, just as right now, there's no incentive to shill your referral link simply because a person who uses it will sacrifice 10% into the tax to get into the faucet, and the faucet is only paying out 100% regardless. But that doesn't mean that someone couldn't maliciously convince people to deposit into the faucet and not point out that they're losing that 10%. So it's still there the way it's always been, but there's no longer an incentive for the person who understands the new mechanics. I hope that makes sense. So given these two things working together, this can be abused, and we know who the abusers are. A Faucet wallet can live on forever, given though they will be taxed 50%, but doesn't matter if this deposit value has no limit. So remember, before it was 100K and the wallet was dead. Well, now, if you were to keep depositing in it like I did on accident, right? I put in more drip into that wallet, or by hydrating. Now, you won't hydrate, but a deposit from a new person using you as a referral, that's free drip. So that's still there. And since there's no longer 100K cap, it could continue. So it could be a potential threat to the system if not addressed, and could be used as attacked by bad actors. And then this is the max payout has been commented out. And then this is the new max payout equal max payout of address. And then this gives you the calculation for that. So it's real deposits plus, sorry, this is for the referral. Sorry, this is a referral payout. This is the BREAP rewards. This is the max payout. So the max payout calculation is here. Your deposits plus your hydrates, basically your rolls. So let's take a look at what that means on the contract itself, or how to see that. Because again, this is all about the education side. So the drip, I have it in here with the contract address. You can find on the drip community wiki. You can find it in the drip telegram. You can find it going to the drip website, like it's everywhere. So you can find this drip faucet address basically, and then you put it in the BSC scan, and then you will come over to contract. And since this is a proxy contract, transparent upgradable proxy, I had to learn this from Orbison. You have to read it as a proxy. So then you're going to actually click read as proxy, and then you're going to come here to see the contract itself. So one thing also to note about the BREIT, you can find that here under referral balances, and then you can actually test the logic, so to speak, and see if it's still available. So we know that it does up to 14 downlines, and you can see how much BREIT is required for a downline. It tells you right there. So remember, this is in solidity, so this is 12 decimal places. So 3 is required for 1 downline, and 5 is required for 2. So we all should know this before, like should be very familiar. 1, 3, 5, 8, 11. It's using the Fibonacci sequence. And then you can see that it is capped because it goes to 14. So if you go 15, it's capped out, and 14 is that big number, 1497, 1597. So BREIT is still in play, and that's just a quick way that you can test that out from here. But let's look at the contract to see those areas he was referring to. So you click that, and then it brings up the contract, and then you have all of the updates on the contract here. Super easy, I guess you could say. Then you have the other contracts that are part of this, but you don't need those. So we only need this one, and this is the one that has been changed 7 times. So that's why it says V6. It should say V7. So the one area we were looking at is this line here, line 805. So this used to be the calculation for max payout, but now it has been commented out. And this is where it used to be the 3.65K of your deposits or the 100K cap. But now you see that that's been commented out. So that's what the 2 brackets backslashes do. It comments that out. So now max payout equals max payout of the wallet, meaning there is no number. So this goes back to the fact that if someone were to get deposits, those go towards your max payout in that calculation, which allows for essentially infinite deposits, which means someone could theoretically, if you had a bunch of deposits coming from other wallets, because there's no reason or incentive to compound, then that could build up. And let's say the tax vault or the contract doesn't have enough tokens to pay out whatever you've built up, you could then hit your claim with that large amount and the contract would again mint. Remember, I told you guys that even though he switched it, the drip token itself is meant to mint. So the faucet just allows for that minting feature, but the token itself does not have a max supply. So that means we could, in theory, at some stage in the future, be minting again, even if Forex doesn't re-implement the faucet. But then there's been talks about that already. I told you that. So it could be done maliciously or it could be done on purpose. But that line of code lets you know that there is no longer a max. That 100K is not there. Now it could be fixed. As Orbison said, shout out to him, all they gotta do is put that 100K back and then we don't have that issue anymore. And this is the formula or calculation for calculating your max deposits. That's what I was talking about there. So you can see it in the contract right there, just so you understand where that comes from. And then again, this is the stuff that was commented out in the contract. So 2 potential cases for exploits exist. The referrals are still there, and there is no longer a max payout of 100K. So your max payout is your deposits plus your compounds, but there will be no future compounds because that has been removed from the UI. I didn't ask Orbison if it can still be done on the contract, but that would be interesting. I would assume they took that out as well, but I'm gonna check that real quick myself. Let's do a search for roll and see. So that's been commented out. So this is about the max payout. Credits, airdrop plus user roles equal deposits. Track rolls for net positive. That's been commented out. So that's just a comment there itself. So I think it's been removed. But anyway, the fact that the BREAP is still there. So what would have been smart, and Forex said he was going to do this and he didn't, would have been to change the level 1 downline for BREAP to more than the current supply of BREAP. So I think there's like 90,000 BREAP. So you make level 1, instead of it requiring 3 BREAP, it would require 100K. Then you're done. Like, it's really simple. Could have fixed that. And then no one would get any referral rewards. So there would be no incentive for anyone to maliciously go and lie to their community. No one would do that, of course. We don't have people like that, but no one would be able to lie to their community and get them to join their downline, join their team, you know, with incentives of, hey, I do airdrops, or hey, I do this. So even though you're going to lose 10% of your deposit, join my team and I'll make that 10% up. So it's still there. The incentives are still there. The reason we got exploited in the previous past is still there, and that has not been changed. So again, that's why I wanted to bring this up. We may not have seen an external exploit, but we definitely saw one internally, and the ability to do so has not changed, nor has Forex ever addressed it. So I don't know if he knows about it, but at least now you know, you can look at the contracts and understand a little more about these two issues and see that they are still there and that it can always be turned back on and all this stuff. So, you know, believe what you want, but I urge you to look at the truth and the data and the numbers. And then, of course, play drip accordingly and be cautious, because we don't know who's on the same team or not. But many of us who played the game, quote unquote, correctly got wrecked. And there's no guarantee that it's going to get corrected in the future and you're going to walk away with your a break-even point or ROI. You could get wrecked some more. We don't know. So at least you can just learn how to look at the contract. And if you don't know, then of course, talk to other people in the community, like shout out to Orbison for sharing that with me. So now at least you have a little bit more understanding. All right, smash that HBO special, help brother out, like, subscribe, comment down below. And until next time, lift daily and achieve your impossible. See ya. Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? SPRITZ Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real-world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now